It's been few weeks, few months, and your ex hasn't reached out, and you're wondering what's going on. Is it really over? Have they moved on? Maybe they are dating someone. You don't know whether you should break the contact. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 reasons your ex hasn't reached out, and obviously what you need to do about it. Because I know sometimes we are stuck. We have our friends helping us, supporting us, but still, we can't make sense of this situation. So in this video, the 5 common reasons your ex hasn't reached out. So first of all, why this silence hurts so much. You have to understand that our brain, the way we function, we love to be able to make sense of things. And in the context of breakups, our brain really wants closure. We crave closure. And this silence triggers what we call a rejection sensitivity. This is probably the hardest thing for human beings, is to feel rejected. And it's down to our primitive part of our brain when we feel we need that social support in order to survive. Same way as food, shelter, and sort of social circle, social connection is as important as that. And that's why this emotional pain activates exactly, it's fascinating, it activates the same area in the brain as physical pain. And so when you don't hear anything, when you have to suffer this silence, yes, it sounds like a personal failure. It sounds like, after what we had together, how could he or she treat me like this? How is that possible? But the thing is, this silence is not really about you. Not always about you. And this is why I want to share those 5 reasons your ex has good reasons not to reach out to you. Maybe there are immature reasons. Maybe they should do better. I do agree with that. But this is what they think. So the first reason is that they are avoiding emotional discomfort. The thing is, when you break up with someone, you might feel guilty, you might regret, you might be scared about what's going on, or how you would react if they reach out. And so, especially if someone is avoidant, reaching out to a partner, you feel like, oh yeah, but I'm going to open like a can of worms. I really want to know what they're up to. But at the same time, they're going to be angry. They're going to confront me. They want to ask me questions that I won't be able to answer. And being on my own, I'll be able to cope with this. Okay? Not having any form of communication with that person helps me to cope. So yes, it's selfish. Yes, they disregard the impact it has on you, but this is their reality. This is their coping mechanism. Understand that this avoidance has nothing to do with you, with what you said, with your value, with your worth. It's a reflection of how they perceive confrontation, how they perceive also their accountability. They took their decision, and in a way they don't feel, or they don't want to be accountable to those things, and giving you clear explanations, seeing you face to face, explaining things clearly. But it's not about you. It's not because you don't deserve explanation. It's because they don't want to face the emotional response, right, about dealing with someone they broke up with. So that's the first reason. The reason number 2 is that they fear rejection. As we discussed before, rejection is a very powerful thing for human beings. And so in a lot of cases, people assume that if I broke up with them, with everything that they went through because of me, if I reappear in their life, they'll push me back. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to feel this. And because of that, because I'm assuming that you're going to react the wrong way, I'm not going to reach out. So the thing is, in those situations, you should avoid chasing or asking for answers, because they also need time to reflect on those things. Because this idea of like, they're going to be mad at me, they're going to be upset, they're going to reject me, will decrease over time. What you have to create now is what we call emotional independence. The reason it's hard for you to deal with this breakup is because of this emotional dependency that you had in this relationship. So as you unpack, as you process the breakup, it's important to create this emotional independence, and I'll get you some more details in a second. Reason number 3, they are trying to move on. What happens is, if you want to move on, actively, yes, you need to go no contact and get rid of any signs of your ex. And so silence is their strategy to heal and to detach. That doesn't mean that they're over you yet, but they're coping differently. When they are trying to move on, it seems that reaching out is starting over. Are we going to get back to what we left? Emotionally, it's difficult. And that's why they don't reach out. Now, this is why it's important to assess your timeline. Because if you've been broken up for a very long time, for a relationship that's quite short, they moved on already. So have a look in the description. There's an assessment tool to assess if you have any chance of getting back with your ex. Because in some cases, they are trying to move on. They are silent. They don't want to reach out because they're actively trying to move on. That's not always the case, but if it's the case, it's important to assess because you want to reach out at this stage. You don't want to let this situation and these cases, because it happens. Sometimes people call me and they say, they haven't reached out for X number of months. And I didn't want to reach out because I've heard online you should never reach out. And well, they moved on, it's over. And maybe that's what's best for you, I don't know. But if you want to get back together, it's important to assess the timeline because timing is really, really critical. Reason number 4, they're waiting for you to reach out. So again, you might have heard online, they broke up with you, they should be the one reaching out. Fair enough. If it works, always like this, that would be easy, but that's not the case. The thing is, as we discussed, people fear rejection, and sometimes we just need to feel the form of reassurance of like, but if I reach out to you, would you be my ally, my enemy? Will you fight? Will it be a positive interaction? And because of this uncertainty, I'd rather not reaching out. And so because of this mixed feelings, because of this uncertainty, they don't reach out. And so, yes, you might be feeling, but I don't want to be sort of lowering myself, reaching out, have self-respect. Fair enough. It also depends on what you want. Because if you're watching this video, perhaps it's because you want to get your ex back. If you want to get your ex back, it doesn't really matter if you nudge them at the beginning. What really matters is not the first text, is everything that goes after. So what I'm saying here is like, I see a lot of things online about like never ever break no contact. People advising you to do this is because they know well enough that it's the best way for you to move on. So eventually, as you go no contact, you'll move on, right? Maybe that's not what you want. Maybe you just want to assess whether there's a chance for you to reconcile. Maybe you'll figure out that's not the right decision, but at least you would try. So if you feel, and again, it's very personal, I don't want to give you any, and that's why I'm struggling with this type of content. I don't want to give you tips that applies for everyone because it doesn't apply for everyone. So assess whether communication feels important, whether you're ready to break no contact, whether you're ready for any negative outcome. Send a small, tiny message. The only thing is just like nudging them. That's it. Then they need to do the work. Then you have to assess over time if it's going in the right direction. So sometimes you just need to reach out. Reason number 5, they are prioritizing their life, themselves over the relationship. And they use the silence to redefine their life post-breakup. And it's actually the right way to redefine your life post-breakup. Anything like, if I reach out to you, if I get in touch with you, if I see you, I go back in time. They're assuming that this breakup is a way for them to grow. And getting back together will make them go backward. When you don't contact them, understand that if you're not in touch with them, you're not erasing your history. You will always be the person they spent their X number of years together. But it's a boundary for them. Maybe they've decided, and again, it really depends on the situation. They've decided this chapter is over. It's done, it's finished. If that's the case, unfortunately, you have no other option than to rebuild your life, not waiting for the input. If they strongly believe that the story is over, the chapter is finished, you also have to do it. And there's always a lag, a delay between when people decide to break up with their partner and when you receive the dumpy, accept and process the breakup. Maybe that's the case, maybe that's not the case. You'll have to assess depending on your situation. So what can you do now? You have to assess your situation, obviously, and find ways, because I think the problem with those situations is like, I'm suffering. I'm waiting for them to reach out. Therefore, I'm not in control of things, of the narrative of my life, basically, because my life depends on someone, even though I know this person very well, to reach out to me. And unless this person reaches out to me, I have no purpose. I don't know where to go. The point is to regain control by, so 3 things. Avoid the what if. What if they reach out? What if they're dating someone? What if? There's plenty of what ifs. And focus on reclaiming your narrative, things you can control. Be use the stoicism principle about things. How can I design a life around things I can control? Don't wait for closure from them. Closure should be something you build yourself. It's very hard to understand, but people always like, but I need closure. I need them to tell me. You might never, ever get that closure from them. In an ideal world, you want people to break up with you, be clear about their intention, and have clear communication, and so you can accept their decision and you can move forward. That doesn't always happen. And actually, that usually generally doesn't happen. And maybe you need to break the contact to gain a bit of clarity, to figure out whether they moved on or not. Again, it really depends on your situation, but it's about a way to regain control. Because if you're suffering in silence because of the silence, maybe you just need to break the contact and be reassured that actually it's over. Understand that obviously healing is not linear. It goes in waves. And it takes a bit of time. So right now you're watching this video, maybe you broke up with your partner a week ago, maybe you broke up with your partner 3 months ago. This is a journey. My work is to help people navigate this journey, whether they get back with their ex or not. The point is for you to make the right decisions and also not enjoy, because it's not something that you can necessarily enjoy as a process, but learn from the process. It's your only opportunity in your life right now to learn more about yourself, to learn how you can, as I said, design a life around your needs, around things you can control, and make the right decision in terms of your relationships. And if right now you feel depressed, anxious, you feel, you can't go to work, you have a hard time sleeping, etc., seek help. Whether it's with me, whether it's someone online, someone locally, it's important not to stay on your own if you are struggling right now. There's plenty of therapists online, really experts who can help you. Again, it could be me, it could be someone else. It doesn't have to be me. Find someone to help you if you feel right now you can't cope with what you're going through. It's essential, it's important. Ask people around you who've had difficult breakups. Maybe they wouldn't admit it right away, but if they're very close to you, they'll tell you they saw someone. A lot of people start therapy because of a breakup. This is probably the time for you to do this. Any question, let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you next time. Take care.